Good morning and welcome back. In today's video, I am taking you through it all. You're gonna spend the whole day with me and we're gonna go do a rock delivery. But that's not all, because in today's video, I'm going to show you the process of how to do this from start to finish. I have a couple of videos that explain this, but they're kind of spread out. I haven't done a little work with me style video. So we have one delivery today. Right now I'm just cooking some breakfast. We're doing eggs and bacon, and I got my lovely frappe coffee that I just learned how to make. So we're going to chow down. It's about 8:30 in the morning. We're going to chow down and we're going to head to the landscaping yard and go from there. We should make about $300 from this load, minus gas, but that's not going to be too much. So I'm really excited to bring you guys with me today and show you literally start to finish a day in life. As always, all glory to God. And a couple of quick announcements before we start our day. Number one, if you have not checked out our apparel store, I have an apparel store, Harold's Terrific Tees, and that's for anybody who wants to basically buy some t-shirts and support the channel. Really appreciate all the support so far. Number two, all glory to God always, and very thankful for everything that's been happening. And number three, I'm in the process of starting a Discord. This is going to be an entrepreneur community where we can all go help each other. There will be a free version and there will be a VIP monthly membership version. I've got a lot of questions on how to do this stuff, and I want to make sure that I'm able to help you guys do this as well. So stay tuned for that. I've started working on the Discord, and I believe it's going to be a really, really good community where we can all learn, grow, and make some money together. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. There's one thing I love in the morning, that's me some bacon and eggs. So right now we're just waiting to hear back from our client that needs the delivery. He needs glacier white, so really kind of like gray white rock. I like to send follow-ups in the morning. This way I don't get to the store, load up, pay for rock, and then the client doesn't need it. So that's what we're doing right now. But while we're waiting on that, I wanted to continue this video and show you guys our conversation. Like how, I mean, it's no secret, I've done videos on how I'm getting these jobs, but I wanted to turn over to Facebook so I can show you my whole conversation. And this is kind of how it goes, most of the time at least. So we have John here. John messaged me from my ad for 1 ton of glacier white river decorative rock. Pretty straightforward. I have a bunch of pictures up there of actual glacier white rock as well. He says, hi, is this available? I say, excuse me, I got the hiccups. I say, hey there, yes, how much do you need? He needs 2 tons. Sometimes people know how much they need. Sometimes people don't know how much they need, and you're going to have to help them. What I use is the Pioneer landscaping app for estimates. There are a couple of other options out there. Site One Landscape Supply, which is across the United States, they also have a materials calculator as well. So anyways, he says he needs 2 tons. I say hard glacier white is $125 per ton plus delivery. How much is delivery? When can you do it? What's the address? That's important because if it's super far, my delivery is going to be significantly higher due to mileage and time. He gives me his address. I didn't respond, and he said hello. I was very busy. Delivery would be about $140 on top of the price of the rock, of course. I could deliver Friday, thumbs up. He says, do I have 5 tons of that rock? I would say, well, my trailer taps out at 4.5, which I'll probably still do 2 loads just to keep it underweight. And unless it snows, yes, probably, but not in Denver, so I'll meet you guys down there, so sounds good. 4.5 tons total, plus delivery, $702, 11 to 12 tomorrow, that's today. Here's the address. I asked the customer, do you want to pay cash or can I invoice you? Most of the time, guys, people are going to do cash on delivery, but it's a good idea to offer legitimate payment services, and I use Square personally. So he's going to have cash, and then this morning as I'm doing this video, morning, I wanted to confirm delivery for today. I'm not going to leave my house until he confirms. This way I don't waste my time, but I think he's going to confirm. So once he does, we'll get moving. We'll do our little pre-check on the truck. I always do that. And especially since being in Idaho, Jeremiah, it really reminded me that I need to make sure that this tow rig, in any tow rig, is good to go before we actually take off. So stay tuned. Drop the comment below how much you think per pound this flagstone is. So yesterday I delivered a load of flagstone and mulch to a customer in Castle Rock. This was a customer that I met last year doing rock deliveries, and he builds homes. And so anyways, long story short, he had a client who needed a bunch of landscaping rock done. So we delivered about 2,500 pounds of this flagstone and 3 yards of mulch. It was a $350 day for 3-4 hours of work. Actually, really, it was like 3. But man, here's a hint: it's expensive. It's expensive. This is about as expensive as a steak. This is called Aspen Buff Select Flagstone. It was pretty cool to deliver it. All right, so we got a confirmation from John. We are headed down to the truck, walking down this mountain, heading down to the truck. We're gonna do our pre-driving check. Just make sure no one messed with anything. Not that they would, but it pays to be safe. Biggest things that I'm looking for are my attachment points, making sure they're good to go. Nothing was changed since I left it over here last night. I also got to take out my chocks. Not that I needed them, but like I said, better to be safe than sorry. My pins, good to go. Don't want the door swinging when I'm driving. Good to go. Man, one thing about living in Colorado, I had it on AC, full blast, as cold as possible yesterday, and this morning it's 38 degrees. Gotta love it. It was about 70 degrees or something, maybe a hair less, but 70 degrees, 38 today. I thought I could get away with the hoodie, but I'm cold now. It's all right. Actually, this diesel takes forever to warm up, so I'll be cold for a little bit. All right, so we made it. First thing we're gonna go do after we get in here is go weigh in. Usually how this works is you'll weigh in, you'll get your dry weight, you'll load up your rock, and then you'll weigh in again, and that's how they know how to charge you, via exactly how much of a difference there is in the dry weight and after weight. So we're gonna head to the scale real quick and weigh in. After we weigh in, we'll go check in at the office. Green light, we're good to go. We got our dry weight. We'll go turn around and park it here for a second and check in. We are all loaded up. We're gonna go ahead and head over to Lakewood. It's not too far, probably 15 to 20 minutes from here. Dump the rock, and that's it. Just got here, met John. John's a cool guy, so we're gonna get this thing unloaded. He has this property right here. Cool story. He subdivided it and turned it into a passive income deal. So we'll get the rock delivered and go from there. Pull our pin out here. Lock her over here. You want to do the fun part? Huh? You want to do the fun part? Sure. It'll help me because I can record.
Okay.
Just gonna do the.
So this is lifting it up.
Yep.
Okay.
You give it a test.
You want to go ahead and.
Yep. Go ahead. And so it'll just you'll know when it's done because it'll.
Okay.
It goes pretty high though.
You got it.
Go for it. John's gonna do the fun part. I'll just pull forward to get the rest of this to dump out. Nice.
I need one of these.
So let me know. I'll pull forward, and when all the rest of the rock is out, just give me a little thumbs up. That's a wrap. We pull forward, get it all down. Important as well to get all these little guys out of here so they don't mess up people's windshields. So while he's getting it down, I'll get these out. Least I can do. So we're gonna load up and take off. I think John might need a little bit more than what we have, and he actually brought me aside and said he's working on some other projects. Basically, he's gonna need a lot more material. I'm gonna bring some fill dirt for him for there, and we're probably gonna need a little bit more rock. And then I don't know if you can see the markers, but from here to there, all the way back and all the way to that street, we're gonna do some pea gravel. He wants to do some pea gravel, so he actually owns this house. And this property was one at some point, but he subdivided it and put this house up, and he's going to start renting this house out for some passive income. He owns a couple of properties, so it was really cool getting to know him. But we'll go ahead and load up. Today, we are going to, me and my fiance, Allie, we're going to go to the Jeep dealership, and we're going to get a new Jeep. So I actually sold the Jeep Trackhawk that we had. And I did that because it was really expensive. There we go. Had to get that. It was really expensive. It was costing us like $1,400 a month, and I was just like, we're trying to do our best and reduce our bills as much as possible. So let's just sell it. We're gonna get a Wagoneer S, which is actually faster than the Trackhawk. For 2 years we're going to lease it. It's an electric vehicle, and it's only going to be like $300 and something a month, so we'll save a little bit of money, but we're going to do that today. So I will head up, we'll head out and take off here soon, and put the trailer back at Nick's place. And I got to do some quoting, so I will show you guys how I do the quoting, because John is going to need a bunch of more materials. So you be nice, you play nice, you meet people, and you might even get more jobs from the one job that you're delivering to. So that's pretty much a wrap on this job. They overloaded me at the landscaping yard by a little bit, so we ended up collecting about $740 from him. The product costed us a total of $455.47, so we're just shy of $300. Had to dump I had a bunch of rocks in my shoe, but anyways, that was a good haul in my opinion. And because we played nice, we were personable, we made friends with John, and he needs a lot more rocks. So more to come on that. After the dealership, I'm going to sit down at the computer, and I will do this estimate for the rest of the deliveries with you. We'll just finish this whole job together. This way you guys get a full service through and through, and you can repeat this in your own states. Okay, so we're back at the computer, and I want to go ahead and build some quotes with you guys. This is one thing in the videos that I have not done up until this point, so we're going to dive in and I'm going to do it together with you. It's pretty straightforward, and I will start by saying this. When I build my quotes, I am not trying to be the cheapest person on the block. I'm going to be the guy that provides you with the best service and then gets more service from you because of the relationship that we've created. If no one ever buys from you, maybe you should lower your prices. If you're getting constantly overwhelmed with customers and jobs, maybe you should increase your prices. But here's how I do it. Local research. There are typically many different landscape supply companies, landscape yards, rock yards that offer all kinds of different materials. And one thing I've noticed is that the material that, say, Pioneer has may be a little bit different than the material that, say, Ewing or Site 1 has. So there's going to be a little gray area here. So basically, I have wrote down on my computer some of the industry averages, retail prices, and that's what we're going to build our quotes off of. So, as an example, John needs 2 more tons of glacier white rock. One place has glacier white rock, and they sell it for about $120 per ton. It's really expensive, albeit it looks really good. So my price on anything glacier white related is $125 per ton. I upcharge a little bit on the retail price to account for taxes, because I pay taxes on the rock. So if I was just to charge, say the landscape yard says it's $120 per ton. If I charge my customer that and I build that into my quote, I'm gonna miss out because I have to pay taxes and something doesn't add up right. So I buff it a little bit, if you will, due to taxes. So with the glacier white, they're basically the only person who has it. Ewing around here has like this, they call it white rock, but it's just a little bit different. So I'm gonna charge, hopefully, the customer $125 per ton. Now, my minimums for delivery, my minimum delivery fee, I have decided to go anywhere is $100 because I have to go pick up my trailer, and then sometimes I got to go across town to dump this to go to the landscape supply store and then to dump the rocks. So my minimum is $100, and then I have a little profit built into the rock itself because, like I said just a second ago, I build my prices off of the retail value. So the same thing that the landscape yard is charging for the rock is what I'm charging for the customer, if not just a hair more because of taxes and whatnot. Now, you can go, if you have created an LLC and have a legit business, which I can teach you guys how to do on Discord or in another video, but that's a talk for another day. You can go get contractor accounts. So you get not retail pricing, but contractor pricing. So that's where you can bump up the profits. Again, you basically have a wholesale account with them and you can build in some price and make a little bit more money on some of these materials, flagstone, rocks, boulders, you name it. And that's the whole point, for you to have some play in what you do. So there's a little bit of play from the 125 and for what I get it for, plus my delivery. Now, John was about 25 miles away from me, and he was really like from where I'm at to the closest yard to him to him. It basically was going to take me 45 minutes ish. So anywhere from like 30 to 45 minutes, I'm usually charging $120 to $150 per load delivery fee. So multiple loads, multiple delivery fees, you can kind of mess with the price from there, but that's kind of where we're at. So I see that the landscape yards, it's about 120-ish dollars per ton. That's what I'm going to charge him. I did $120 for the delivery fee. So we were in the 2 tons, so 125 my charge. So I charge him for 2 tons, 125 times 2, that's 250, plus $120 per delivery. So that's $370. Then I take out the cost of the rock, which was going to be about $205, and roughly, I'm sorry, my math is not great super quick, but roughly we're at like 160, 150-ish dollars. So if I can knock this out in an hour and a half, I've met my $100 per hour mark, which is great. I don't want to keep moving on this. So John also has the project for pea gravel. He needs a bunch. Basically, I calculated about 9 tons. So he gave me the measurements of the areas that he needed the pea gravel in. I did the square footage of all of them combined, and I put it into our calculator with about 3 inches of depth, which is important because the deeper you want the rock, the more you need. So the amount of rock that is needed will change depending on if you want it 1 inch in depth, 2 inch, or 3 inch. I always recommend 2 to 3. 3 is going to look the best. And so that's what I quoted him for. And he also agreed while we were there, we'll probably want like 3 inches. So I got the square footage totals. I put it into Pioneer's app and decided we need about 9-ish tons of pea gravel to lay out all of basically where he needs to lay out all that rock. So for pea gravel, this one's crazy because pea gravel, I did a little bit of research, and I'll share with you 3 places that are selling it for 3 totally different prices. We have someone who was selling it for $45 per ton. We have somebody who was selling it for $59 per ton, and we have somebody who was selling it for $65, $66 per ton. So I quoted him $65 per ton on the pea gravel for 9 tons. That's going to take me 3 trips. So I charged him $120 per trip, and that's what I went to him with. That plus the glacier white rock could potentially yield us, plus what we did for him already, and yesterday could potentially earn us $1,000 profit or more depending on how this goes. So that's kind of how I build my quotes out. Go look at everybody's pricing and kind of go from there. We're going to go to John for the pea gravel. We are at $560. And pause here. I'm doing this after I actually delivered for John. I'm coming back and doing this last part of this video before I put it up. I quoted him a lot more. I think like $200 or $250 more, but something happened, and we'll get to it in a second, that actually made me lower my prices so that I could hang on to this job. And you'll have to continue watching to see what happens. And what I was talking about before, competition, right? You're about to see how the competition undercut me. Can I save this or not? We will have to find out, and you'll find out very shortly. So let's get back and finish the video here. You'll see how the rest transpired and unfolded. So we're headed out to meet Mr. John again. We might not do the pea gravel today, depending on how much time he has to spread it, but we're gonna do the glacier white. So I'm gonna head to the yard and we'll get that picked up and go from there. I actually need a little bit of fuel for the day, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill up a little bit. Sometimes there's a little liquid in the hose still, so we'll just let it drain real quick, like we're good. All right, I got a little over in between half and 3/4. I'm not gonna go crazy with it. I wanna get on the road, so that's what we're gonna do. Everything looks good. We got some fuel. Truck's warmed up, so we'll get this show on the road. All right, I got to the landscape yard, weighed in. We're about to pick up our glacier white. And I do have a little update for you, but I'm gonna get this loaded up real quick before I go ahead and give you that update. Man, this guy was so fast that I didn't even have time to step out of my car. He was there, he was ready, and we are on our way to the scale again. That was quick, wow. So on that update, John actually, I called John just to confirm everything for this morning, and John actually said that somebody else was able to give him the pea gravel for a little bit cheaper. They actually have a dump trailer, and so they were able to get it basically $200 less than what I was able to get it out the door to him for, and that's okay. I don't have a dump trailer. I have to take multiple trips. I do charge multiple delivery fees, and that is okay. That is what it is. So that's gonna happen, guys. Here's what I'm gonna do. I did a little bit more math, and I think I have a little bit more room to play with, so I'm going to give him a price. It's still going to be a little bit higher than the other guy, but it's going to be a price that I can get this pea gravel delivered today for. So we'll see what he thinks of that. It's very comparable. We'll see what he thinks of that, and we'll kind of go from there. But for now, I'm going to weigh in right here. We're going to get our out weight, and we're going to go pay and get on the road. So I'll see you in a few when we are at his place. We're always waiting for the green light on these scales. Once the green light is good, I don't think I need to move up anymore, but once the green light is good, that means they have our weight. So that is what we are waiting for. Dun, dun, dun. There's the green light. Well, the guy operating the front end loader, he heard my weight, my after weight, before I actually went into the office. So he pulled me aside and he was like, hey man, I got you like 1 ton over. So we're going to dump some of it out. This is the way it happens sometimes. If you don't want to pay for the extra, you got to dump it out because sometimes these loaders don't have they don't have scales on their buckets, which is fine. Like, it's not gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna dump some, and we're gonna reload probably on the scale. All right, here he goes. Load me up on the scale in the truck. So nice. This way he can communicate with the people inside, and basically he's gonna be able to give me exactly 2 tons. So here's the scoop. I called John just a second ago, and I couldn't quite match what this other guy with a dump truck was going to give price-wise for the pea gravel, but I lowered as much as I could my profits, and I took a little delivery fee. I don't know if we'll make the $100 an hour. It might be close still. But I said, hey man, here's what I can do. I can do it today. You don't have to wait till Monday. And John said, you know what? Let's do it. So price, yes, everyone always wants the lowest price. But I did learn something a long time ago that I want to pass on to you guys too. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And people will pay way more or more in general for a better service than they will a better product. Simon Sinek, TED Talks, the golden rule. So knowing this, I'm like, look, I can't match it, but I know I had a really good time with him yesterday. He really likes me, and so we ended up still being able to do this job. So we have 2 more runs. This time it's going to be for pea gravel. We'll go ahead and get this Glacier White offloaded, and we will head right back to the store. We got a couple hours of work ahead of us, so we're going to get started. Guys, this is just a friendly reminder to hit that like button. That helps me more than you know. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. When you push that like button, it helps the algorithm put our videos forward. In turn, it helps us get more views and me being able to do more things with you. So I really appreciate it so far. Make sure you hit that like button. And we're back. John and his buddy, they're just clearing up the rest of the rocks we dropped off earlier. Got some pea gravel here. We're gonna spread it here, there, and there. So we'll probably need to do another trip, but that's kind of the plan for now. Well, that's pretty much a wrap over here at the yard. We have our last load getting topped off right now, and I think this is going to be his last bucket. We're going to go right back to John's house. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as always, and all glory goes to God. Last load. We're dumping the rest of the pea gravel. This will go here and a little bit there. John might do this whole stretch in the future. By the way, look at this little 2,000-pound skid. Isn't that cute? We got a job well done. Things are turned out looking real nice. And just like that, that's a wrap on all those deliveries. Let's head back home. Let's drop the trailer off and